Oh, frig, front ends fell out of the truck. Anybody know how to put it back in? This is Otis Campbell coming to you live from Mater's Garage up here in Hills, East Tennessee. There's a darn wrecker thing, Mater. Yep, boxes on the back. What's in it? Yep, something like that. Anyway, let's get back to reality here. Let's cold start it. Yeah, why not? Front axle's out of it, sitting in the mid-air. Let's see if it'll start. Probably won't. Been sitting here, I don't know, 3 weeks, half a month. Oh, darn you. Oh yeah, for the Ford lovers out there. It's loud. I'm not revving the snot out of it. It's not going over 2,000, so don't give me a hard time. I'm trying to get it where it'll actually idle without being on high choke, and I succeeded. Too bad that we can't go nowhere. Front axle's on the ground. There's parts everywhere, but by golly, she still runs. That's how it goes. Yeah, if I sound a little funny in my video, it's probably because I crawled up in this bottle right here. And I don't plan on stopping until I hit the bottom. If I call in sick tomorrow, if you're anybody that works with me, if I call in sick tomorrow, it's probably why, because I hit the bottom of this bottle. I got me one mixed up. Look at it. Look how smooth this thing actually does run for a big block. Runs pretty smooth, don't it? Yep. Anyway, let's cut it off. I just missed the sound of it. You know, if gas wasn't $4 a gallon, this would be my daily driver. I'm sorry, people. You know, y'all may like Mater. You may like that white thing back there. You may even like that sod. But I can tell you, if gas wasn't $4 a gallon, we'd be driving this. But, you know, it burned a quarter of a tank of gas. I idled for about, I don't know, half an hour after I blowed the front axle out of it on the ice. I blowed the front axle out of it and idled for about a half an hour just to keep warm. It was cold that morning. And, well, anyway, make a long story short, I never made it more than 5 miles from the house. I didn't make it that far. I burned a quarter of a tank of gas. The gas station is literally down the road, as you can see, down the road 3 miles. I drove it down there, filled it up, drove it back. Just because I was afraid it's going to snow, because it's actually talking about it going to snow. And there, come on, focus. There's what I've got left. You know, I mean, come on. Over a quarter of a tank of gas in 5 miles. I mean, I can't drive this thing to work and back. I can't do it. But, you know, she still runs. It needed a good run. I mean, it's been sitting here for 3 weeks. I mean, come on, give me a break. It needed a run, but anyway. That's a cold start for you. You'll see this one transform like you seen that one transform this past year. You seen old tow Mater transform. You're going to see this one transform this year. I don't care if I go in the poorhouse. This truck will come back to its former glory. I mean, it's got to go back to the body shop. Not for body work, but to get this bed straightened out. The frame did get bent on this truck when I wrecked it. It did. But it's got to get straightened back out. It's true from wheel to wheel, or it was. It should still be after I put another axle under it. So, but anyway, it was true to wheel to wheel. It was true to drive. It was true, you know, as far as wheels to the road. But the frame to the bed to the cab, if you look, it is true in one sense of the word. If you look, it is straight. But it's not, this bed is over to the driver's side, and it has to do with the frame rails. But he couldn't really straighten it out. I will defend him on this, and he even told me this when I brought it to him. He said, I can't get it perfect without a bed. He said, you're going to have to get a bed for it. So, you know, I've got a bed for it. He said, once I got a bed, bring it back to him. You know, that's been over a year ago, well over a year ago. So, you know, it's one of those things. He said he would straighten it out for free. It's been a year. I'm going to take a truck and a $100 bill to him, and I'm going to say, you know, you said you straighten this out, and he'll say keep it $100, and I'm gonna say give it $100 to the guy that straightens it actually out. You know, I said give it to him as a tip. If Because there's one thing about it. The guy that stands behind his work, that's willing enough to straighten out a truck, you know, partially, and then straighten it out again to get it right, without charging you, is a good man. And you know, the man that has to work on it, you know, that's a $100 tip in his pocket. You know, he can take his family out to eat. You know, that's good. And it's not, I'm not saying that I'm rich, but you know, I'm not afraid to give somebody $100 for work good done, or for good work done. Let me rephrase that. So you know, I'm gonna get it straightened out, and I'm gonna DA it down probably to bare metal. I've got another hood. This hood here was originally red, as you might be able to tell. That's not really red primer, that's actually the red paint that was on this hood. This truck was wrecked before. The frame was not exactly right on this truck. It was actually tweaked. It was hit right here. Boom, right there in the frame rail. It hit a light pole in 1983, I believe it was. My dad was trying to get home for my birthday. And traffic was terrible on Tusculum Boulevard in Greenville, Tennessee. He ran it into a light pole. He ran down the ditch and through a ditch and hit a light pole. So that's why this hood is red. That's why the front of this truck has been worked on, etc., etc. But as you can see, the bed looks a little funky right here. If you walk around this truck and get to, yeah, notice tailgate off my silver one. Yeah. If you notice, we got problems right here. Yep, we do. We've got problems. We've got a little mismatching going on here. You know, I could actually waller the holes in the frame for the bed, move the bed over, and get by with it. I could. But it creates an issue if you look down for the wheels. It creates an issue, and it would be noticed. Somebody would notice it, and it would piss me off. I mean, if you notice, see, I'm about the same place. I'm actually touching the camera against the truck. But as you can see, there's a difference. Granted, I'm facing different directions, but surely to goodness you can tell what I'm trying to show you. See, it's not right. But anyway, he's gonna fix it. We've also got the roof completed on the house, and here's all the crap that's left from it. And I'm kind of glad it's in the back of the truck, because it's added weight because of where I had to place the jack stands to replace the front axle. Yep, but anyway, I've rambled on enough. Cold start, ramble. See y'all.